Oh, holy shit. Ass cheeks, okay. It's the completely naked witch's ass. What the hell? Didn't I warn you about walking around naked in front of me? I mean, this is safe, right? I'm not gonna censor this shit. Sue me, YouTube. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Grandmaster Shaymin, and welcome back to the channel. In the last episode, we snuggled with the witch, and the main character totally is slowly realizing that she is in love with the witch. She grabbed her tits. It's all good. And now we're going to the market to see if we can't get a disguise to help the witch flee town, and we're probably gonna go with her and try and stay with her forever because, you know, obviously love her and shit, right? That's what we want. Once I'm out the door, I forget all about the purification crystal, as well as the idea of being beheaded for helping the witch. The warm, sunny weather and cheerful ruckus of the crowd dispels even the gloomiest of my thoughts. Besides, I don't have a habit of thinking about such depressing things. Not when I can just live and enjoy life. Although I must admit, I love the drama of all of it, but just a little bit. Once at the square, I quickly noticed that there's a lot more people here than usual today. Granted, the market is always filled with hustle and bustle, but it's rather strange that it's so crowded. I just decide to observe and notice the sound of music wafting through the noisy crowd. Someone skillfully plays a happy tune on the harmonica. Squeaky flutes and feminine voice joins the unknown musician's performance. It's not long before I realize their street performance, what with their camping tents scattered nearby. I almost want to take a look, perhaps I catch sight of acrobatics or jugglers, but I stop myself just in time. I'm not here to have fun, I have a job to do, but I hadn't considered what to do first, buy something delicious for breakfast, or look for fabric. Suddenly a sound catches my attention. And that's how it was. Then my cousin told me they should have announced the princess's wedding to my Lord Griswold yesterday, and I spent the entire day waiting for the herald's message, but instead they impose a bloody curfew. I'm telling you, the wedding has been postponed because of the incident at the palace. I anxiously search through the crowd, hoping to find whose voice it is. It seems to be coming from two show gossips holding baskets of limp vegetables in their hands, and they're clearly trying to top the noise of the crowd. One of them, the fat and joyful one with a conscriptorial expression on her face, is sharing gossip about the princess with the other. I quickly move closer so I can hear the conversation better. The extra information certainly wouldn't hurt, especially since I'm not part of the story. And I'm telling you, your cousin is lying. She always comes up with the outrageous stories. I swear it's true. Why would she lie? She's a royal chambermaid, after all. She knows everything that goes on in the palace. Lucille says the princess has been acting strangely ever since that night. It's almost as if she lost her memory. She can't remember things clearly and is unable to answer certain questions, which is exactly why the wedding was postponed. Hearing this, I'm now more interested in the subject of their conversation. It's as if the princess had become a totally different person, or perhaps someone cast a spell on her. A different person? Yeah, right. It's a palace. There are more guards there than flies in your kitchen. Don't interrupt me. I'm not done with the story yet. Lucille says that the princess has stopped wearing her crown. She told me the crown has been taken away and locked up in the treasury by order of the king himself. So what? Maybe she's tired of wearing the crown all the time. Gold is heavy, you know. What nonsense. Wearing the crown is the princess's bound duty, and if she's not wearing it, something must be wrong. Only a member of the royal family can bear it. What if the real princess was killed and a look-alike set in her place? If the heir to her throne has died, they want to prevent the world from spreading it to people, and so she'd been forbidden to wear the crown to break the family's tradition, and the wedding has been cancelled. Oh, Bridget, I wish you'd just hear yourself. You're making me deaf with this gossip. Just listen, I swear I'm telling the truth. Everything is just as Lucille told me. I try to think back to when I met the princess in the town square. Did she have her crown with her then? I don't think she did. I'm not sure about how important this information is, or whether it's worth considering at all, but I committed to memory anyway, just in case. And that witch everyone's looking for, I'm sure she did something terrible to our princess. What if our princess was cursed into a zombie? That's why she's acting so strangely. Oh, goddess, you should just, you should be a novelist, really. Oh, hush. Anything is possible, and I heard that the witch was driven from the mill before vanishing into a cloud of smoke, as if she melted. Come on now, she's not even a witch, just your ordinary trickster. There's so much better tricks than that, you know. Then what about the wanted posters? They clearly say she's a witch. The two women continue to argue fiercely over whether Zara is a witch or not. Realizing I've heard all that I need to hear, I scratch my chin. So the princess is a fake, or maybe cursed. Did Zara turn her into a zombie? And what happened to the crown? Well, I know why the wedding was canceled. At least the witch told me the truth about that. What the hell happened then? The conversation I overheard raised more questions than it answered. I stopped my foot with irritation. Those gossipers just jumbled all of my thoughts with their stupid chatter. Zara said that she's under a curse, and there seems to be something strange going on with the princess, too. Perhaps Zara and the princess got into a fight and cursed each other. That sounds silly, of course, but they're both powerful witches, and who knows what's going on in the witch's head. But then, why would the story of the witch stealing the princess's maidenhood? Maybe the guest was afraid I might judge her and so acted like a victim instead. Oh, why is everything so complicated? Having wasted enough time, I'd head for groceries, but my mind isn't on shopping. My head is fully occupied with thoughts of what might have really happened to the princess. I remember the conversation we had about the purification crystal. Zara believes her abilities are a curse. What if she cursed the princess to die? Zara never told me what kind of magic she possesses. Could it be black magic? If it is, I help Zara escape, then the princess will surely die. A black mage's curse can only be removed by the one who cast it. I can't allow someone to die because of me. Although, Zara did mention that she and the princess share the same power, and if Zara needs a purification crystal to lift the curse, then the princess can't be a black mage. So it seems like the darky herself isn't connected with black magic. Well, at least there's that. Although, that still doesn't clear things up for me. But I have to figure it all out later. I have business to attend to. Trying to think about everything at once gives me a headache. I've got a lot of things to do. I've already bought our food, so now I have to go grab materials for the makeshift priestess garb. I begin searching the market. I'm not much of a seamstress, but I have no idea where the cloth and merchants are located. There's only two things that interest me while I'm here: magical artifacts and fresh pastries. Seeing colorful canvases hanging ahead, I beeline there. But the closer I get to the fabric shops, the louder the music grows from the wandering artists. Oh, I love to watch the exotic dances, funny performances, and fascinating tricks. I really like to get a bit closer and take a peek, but instead, I need to buy fabric, scissors, thread, and other boring things. Although, why does it have to be instead? I can spare a few minutes to watch, then finish my shopping afterwards. I don't think Zara would mind, would she? I'm sure she's interested in this kind of stuff herself. Don't get distracted. What the fuck? Alright, let's go to 2. Don't get distracted. We got this. Although, I have important things to do. I glance over at the musicians and sigh. Sometimes I wish I wasn't so responsible. And there's nothing I can do. Zara's waiting for me. I cast a parting glance at the crowd gathered around the artist and then head towards the fabric boutiques. Oh, whoa. Yo, look at these colors. Approaching the first one, I find myself swimming in the sea of color, glitter, and luxury. The lady merchant lazily waves her fan due to the summer heat, and instantly beside me, the very moment I enter the shop. At first, she questions what I'm looking for, but is unable to get a clear answer out of me. Oh, this is a cute picture. It's green. Look at her dress. Damn, that's interesting. I like her hair. Her hair's really cute. Taking advantage of my indecisiveness, she begins laying goods in front of me, praising every piece as if it were the most amazing fabric that ever existed. I pretend to consider the cloth she's showing me, but I can't really tell her what I'm after. It suddenly occurs to me that despite being surrounded by such an amazing array of color, I have no idea what I'm looking for. No, that's not exactly true. I do know the kind of fabric that makes priestess art for Zara, but it seems I have no idea what kind of fabric and how much of it I need to buy. What's worse, I can barely remember what the clothing looks like. Asking the vendor about it would be a big no-no. It'd lead to far too many questions. And I can't even remember what color I need. The amount of colors before me has literally thrown me off balance. So many colors and so many shades. Perhaps if Zara were with me, she'd be able to help. What am I thinking? How could an Eastern witch even know what a local priestess looks like? And this vendor with her stupid questions. Why is she even asking me what I need? Velvet? Velour? Is there any difference? What is cotton? Satin? These bright colors and ridiculous names are melting my brain. What color is this? Grass? Pine green? What is a sateen anyway? I've never sewn clothing for myself, nor have I ordered anything from a tailor. These subtleties are way beyond me. I always buy ready-made clothing and am entirely uninterested in how they're made. All that matters is if I like them or not. By the time I finish talking to the vendor, I want nothing more than to flee the multicolored hell as quickly as possible, if only no longer endure the useless questions. I grab several different shades of green, white, and blue fabric, and I'm ready, as I'm fairly sure the princess's garb was sewn with these colors. And just to be safe, I make sure to grab a few different fabric types as well. As a result, I walk out of the store with fabric in a bunch of different shades and textures. And end up spending most of my money I had on me. Well, at least it wasn't my money. If it were, I'd probably have been quite a bit stingier about it. But it's not like I could tell the merchants exactly what I needed to sew priestesses' clothing. Everything about priestesses and religion in general is sacred in our lands. Using the garb for one's own purpose is strictly forbidden, although the rule is only really followed by common folk. Mages have their own system of beliefs, and I, as someone who wishes to become one, try to follow them. I just hope that some of these cloths will be suitable for our little masquerade. Sighing heavily, I shoulder the huge bale of fabric, thread, and other things and head home. Damn. This hangnail is annoying me. Wow, I don't think I ever get used to coming home with everything so clean. Every time I walk through the door, I worry that I'm in the wrong house. So, I'm kind of confused, though. Didn't she tell Zara, she's like, we know what priestess clothes look like, and then she's like, I have no idea what priestess clothes look like. It's just such a weird contradiction. Ugh. Although the dirt and debris made my modest dwelling a bit cozier. Dropping a heavy bale of fabric on the floor, I'm finally able to breathe again. I don't even have time to sit and rest when I hear footsteps upstairs. Spinning around, I see Zara, who's now curiously staring at me. What happened to hiding in the cupboards? I decided that I can trust you, for now. You're back earlier than I thought you'd be. Were you able to get everything we needed? Remembering what a pain it was choosing the fabrics, I grimace slightly and nod. The girl turns to the bales that I drop at the door. Is that it? I nod unenthusiastically. I always hope there's something suitable among all this junk. Zara immediately moves to the bales and begins going through the hall. The witch is silent for quite some time as she looks over the fabrics, then scrunches up her face when she realizes I bought the wrong materials. After having properly examined my purchases, she finally turns to me. Is that all? What do you mean, is that all? There's a lot of fabric here. You need more? Zara looks at me as if I'm a foolish schoolgirl trying to act like I'm some genius seamstress. Yes, there's a lot here, but none of these fabrics are suitable for the vestments of a Nerean priestess. Oh, how did you fail at such a simple task? I just don't know. I try to turn... Now it's my turn to get angry. What do you mean none of these fabrics are suitable? Here's white fabric for the capes, and rolls of blue and green cloth, and even velour, whatever the fuck that is, and what else do we even need? First of all, we can't use velour. Priestesses' vestments are sewn from simple fabrics, such as wool. And what is this, cyan silk? Blue satin? And these pink laces, what are they for anyway? Are we making ball gowns or priestly garb? Frustrated, Zara falls silent. I snatch the lace ribbons from Zara's hand and hold them to my chest. The merchant lady said the color goes well with my hair. The witch rolls her eyes. Okay, enough about laces. Just explain to me why there's not a single fabric colored a normal shade of blue. What do you mean, not a single one? I point at the bale sign. I simply can't believe there's not a single normal piece of fabric in the entire bunch. Oh, that's not normal. That's not normal at all. Well, excuse me. I practically bought half the shop, and I'm not going back to the boutique. This is the best I can find there. Zara shakes her head and sighs. Fine, I'll try to work with what you bought me. But now we'll need to make sure we approach the guards at night. In broad daylight, only a blind man wouldn't notice what we're wearing these. And I'm not just talking about how they'll be sewn. So I wonder if it would have been better to get distracted. If we got distracted, maybe we would have had less money and we would have bought the cheaper fabric. And we would have actually worked out. Which would be weird because I'm like, I need to focus. We need to get this shit done. Neither of us have any experience with this kind of thing. Oh, you always expect the worst. You need to be more confident. Believe me, confidence is very important in adventure. I think you're confusing recklessness with confidence. Absolutely not. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Confidence can work wonders. Zara says nothing, but judging by her face, she's quite frustrated. Well, what more can I do? The delicate job of choosing the right fabric isn't exactly my area of expertise. Besides, I very carefully selected these colors, and I was still wrong. I doubt the stupid guards will notice the difference. Anyway, what's done is done. There's no need to waste any more time arguing. Well, let's get all this stuff upstairs and start working. Zara says nothing. She stares at me for a few moments, as if pondering something, then grabs a bangle from the grocery basket and slips it in her apron pocket. That's right, she still hasn't eaten breakfast, but the witch is already heading upstairs with a bunch of fabric in tow. I pick up the rest and follow. Once in the bedroom, I immediately start sorting through the fabric, thread, needles, and other sewing accessories. I've never done this kind of needlework before, but I'm eager to try. Zara doesn't seem quite as enthusiastic. Honestly, it looks like she's now doubting our success even more than she did before. Do you have any idea how priestly vestments work? Well, generally. What about you? I'm not sure. You know, the royal family worships a different goddess. That's why there aren't any Nerean priestesses at the palace. Oh, that's something I never even considered. But maybe we don't need the garments to be perfect copies. We'll be wrapped in cloaks, and I'm sure the guards won't notice if some of the details are different. I guess you might be right. Despite the fact that Zara agreed with me. Shit. I can still hear a hint of uncertainty in her voice. Oh, that witch. She only ever worries about failing. Who does that? I always believe that if you only expect failure from life, it'll certainly pour over you as if in a bucket. As for me, I always go about my business with confidence, and I'm sure that I'll succeed sooner or later, although it really hasn't stopped failures from pouring over me either. So be it. At least it's more fun that way, and I'm not racking nerves over the added stress. That's cute. Look at her. Choosing the right shades of fabric, and having successfully avoided the arrangement, Zara and I begin our work. In the end, we spend several hours trying to make something that looks more or less similar to the patterns of the priestess's vestments. Unfortunately, we don't have enough blue fabric for both of the dresses, so we end up making one of the sleeves a different color. After some discussion, we come to the conclusion that you shouldn't be able to see it under the cloak anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem, although Zara makes me vow to wear it myself. I think it might be some sort of punishment for having bought the wrong kind of fabric. Well, I have no choice but to agree. With as much passion as I can muster, I begin sewing the dress. It's not like I'm happy with the job, but there's still more entertaining than staring at the ceiling. Zara keeps distracting me from my work. She sighs sadly as she watches me stitch, or cries out when I accidentally poke her with a needle. What's worse, Zara soon becomes bored and starts twirling around in different directions, distracting me even more. Ow, Rosetta, stop it! If you weren't fidgeting, I wouldn't have pricked you. I'm having a hard time understanding what I'm doing here. The last thing I need is you moving all the time. God damn. Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm just tired of standing here. Just let me finish this seam and we'll take a break. But it takes you so long to sew. Well, excuse me. Just so you know, this is only the second time I've ever held a needle. The first time was when I sewed up my brother's pants so he couldn't put them on. You have a brother and you did that shit? Okay, that's funny. I remember how Ronnie tried to pull his pants over his ridiculously skinny legs and couldn't understand why they were so tight. It was really funny, especially when he realized what was going on, and I was so happy to discover how fast I can run. I would have been in big trouble otherwise. Hearing a chuckle, I look up and to my surprise see Zara smiling. And here I thought the witch would forever be in the frown princess of Gloomania over the mistakes I made with the fabrics. So, you have a brother? Worse, I have 3 brothers. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow, it must have been fun. It must have been fun not being the only child. Well, not really. You have to share everything with your siblings, assuming you get anything at all. Especially if you're the eldest child. I'd always hear, you're the oldest, deal with it. Or they're younger than you. They need it more. Damn relatable. She is me, but attractive. Seriously. Rosetta is like me, but attractive. She and I have so much in common. Seriously. And this is all despite the fact that I was only a year older than Ronnie and just 2 years older than the twins. Three younger brothers? It was a living hell. Though, to be honest, I do miss them sometimes. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's because they're family. Sometimes I think Ronnie wasn't as bad as I remember, and the twins not so noisy. I have no one. I always wanted a sister to share my thoughts and feelings with and discuss my likes and fears. But I only have a cousin, who's about to be, The princess is your cousin? Is it? Is it the princess? It might not be the princess. I mean, you guys look nothing alike. But Zara abruptly fell silent. About to be what? Oh, it doesn't really matter. Well, is that it? Are you finished? Oh, not this intrigue again? She's not going to say a word, is she? Alright, let's take a break. Zara happily pulls off the dress parts, which I fitted directly on her. Then she pulls the slightly stale bagel from her apron and starts munching on it, blindly staring off into space, and once again feeling guilty about not letting her have a normal breakfast. The clock shows 4:30, and the day has now begun to fade to night. No wonder that the darky is so tired. She'd been standing for several hours straight. Looking at the pieces of cloth that I managed to sew together, I realized that we've got a long way to go. Well, at the rate we're going, it's going to be at least a week before we're done. A week? That's far too long. I can't be here that long. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying my best, you know. Okay, I understand. It's just, the longer I'm here under the princess's nose, the more likely she is to find me. And then, I'll have to go back and... just forget about it. You need to think positive. That's easy for you to say. Not really. I mean, if I fail here, I'm in pretty big trouble, too. But I'd rather try to be strong and believe in our success. You should, too. I wish I could, but I can't stop thinking of anything else. Golly. With her this anxious, I fear she won't be able to go through with things once we get there. I need to calm her down somehow, if that's even possible. Hey, do you want to know how I distract myself when I can't stop worrying about something? Sure. Great. I grab the witch's hand and drag her into the window. Climbing onto the bed, I beckon her over and open it. What are you doing? I want to show you my secret place. Your secret place? When I need to calm down and get my head in order, I do it there. Gentle breeze, silence, and tranquility. What else does one need to relax? Throwing the window open, I climb out. I offer Zara my hand, inviting her to join me. The witch hesitates for a moment, but then takes hold and clumsily follows me. Wow, this is the roof. Yeah, what else did you expect? Carefully stepping over the edge of the roof, Zara looks down with a mixture of fear and curiosity on her face, and I move closer just in case I need to grab onto her if she slips. But having satisfied her curiosity, she quickly returns to a safer spot. So what exactly do we do here? Isn't it dangerous to walk around up here? Besides, they're looking for me. What if someone sees? Maybe it would be better if we went back to the bedroom. Oh, come on, no one's gonna see you. The townfolk rarely look up. Everyone is too preoccupied with their own business and problems to be watching the rooftops. Besides, the trees are partially in the way, making it hard to see up from the street. And without your exotic clothing, you're more difficult to recognize. Zara looks at me skeptically. It seems like I'm not doing a very good job at convincing her. Just look around. It's always peaceful here. There's no people, noise, or bustle. Up here, there's only birds, the sky, and silence. It's a great place to relax, and if you want to have a little fun, you can always toss apples at passerby. Hope it hits your fucking face, passerby, dude. Assuming you have apples. Though, I wouldn't recommend sleeping here. I once fell asleep and got a terrible sunburn. Ooh, yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea. My face looked like a tomato for 2 weeks straight. I didn't want to leave the house looking like that. Zara smiles silently but says nothing. Want to take a walk? The rooftops are close enough together that we can hop from one to another, so how about it? Come on. I hold my hand out to Zara and she looks at it warily. Don't worry, everything will be fine, trust me. Zara instantly frowns when I say trust. No, I really need to go back. Thanks for showing me this place, but it'd be better if we were in the house. Then Zara heads back to the open window. Disappearing into the bedroom, I left wondering if I did something wrong. Perhaps I missed something or said something to upset her, I don't know. All I wanted was to help her, one way or the other, but I guess my idea failed. Well, I'm sorry. Damn, that's sad. I wonder if we could... Once inside, I suggest going downstairs for a snack since we missed dinner, and Zara readily agrees. So we head back to the kitchen and fill our bellies. In the end, no matter how intense the day, it's not worth skipping a meal over. We spend some time discussing our plan and look for ways to make it less dangerous, and bounce a lot of different ideas off each other, but none of them seem like good enough. I have to admit, this discussion feels like a waste of time. Although Zora mentions the purification crystal a few times and it bothers me a little, is she still intent on regaining her full magic power? Well, I expected something like this. Who in their right mind would refuse their own powers? But I still worry about over the witch being so secretive about the type of magic she has. It's long past midnight when we finally go to sleep, and this time I'm not as vexed by the witch's presence in my bed. When Zara crawls next to me under the blanket, I feel my face flush again. Fortunately, I'm too tired to think about it, and I fall asleep the moment my head touches the pillow. The next few days pass by. It's only a few days, but yet I'm so used to Zara's presence in my life that I can't imagine what it would be like when she finally flees town. I often catch myself thinking about how boring it was being alone all the time. Even stranger, I rarely find myself thinking about magic anymore, and it used to be such a big part of my life. What has happened to me? What used to be important to me has given way to something entirely new. Now everything is different, including myself. Zara, on the other hand, has become more moody and depressed. I'm sure the princess, who now openly patrols the streets with her guards and barges into any home she deems suspicious, is contributing to Zara's anxiety. The entourage periodically rides past my house, too. What's worse, Princess Elise sometimes lingers nearby in search. I'm sure she feels Zara's presence with her magical intuition. Fortunately, the witch's magic aura is too weak due to the curse. Even so, I watch with anxious fear every time the princess is near. I fear she'll find us sooner or later. Part of me doesn't even care if I'm punished for helping the witch. No, I worry that Zara will be sent back to the palace she hates so much. And that's not like me. It's taken longer than expected to sew the priestess's disguises, but we should finish them today. Zara even went to bed early last night so she can work on them first thing in the morning. I was up half the night thinking about how the darky will soon vanish from my life, and how I'll once again be alone. And it makes me sad. Not even thought of the magic medallion giving me powers helps me feel any better. Oh no, I'm still excited about it, and it's been my biggest dream, but it's different now. Before I open my eyes, I check to see if I can move. Every morning I wake up in the darky's arms. I have gotten the impression she used to hug a plush toy in her sleep, and now she can sleep no other way. But to be honest, I kind of enjoy it, even though I won't let her know that. Surprised to find that no one's holding on to me this morning, I feel around for the sleeping witch, but my hand fumbles over an empty space. Zara isn't there, although her side of the bed still feels warm. Where did she go? Has she gone somewhere? That's strange. The witch had never woken up before me. Anxious, I dart up and look around. Oh, holy shit. Ass cheeks, okay. It's the completely naked witch's ass. What the hell? Didn't I warn you about walking around naked in front of me? I mean, this is safe, right? I'm not gonna censor this shit. Sue me, YouTube. Oops, are you awake already? I was hoping to change before you woke up. You're a little edgy about that, you know. I'm not edgy. Don't pretend like everything's fine. You want to change, then do it. My mom can see this filth. Filth? I'm not filthy. You're the one who woke up earlier than expected. I had no intention of tripsing around naked in front of you. You always act so weird about it. You think it's a weird reaction? I'm a wholesome girl. I'm not used to seeing anyone's bare ass in my bedroom, not unless it's my own. And I don't try to spin it like it's my fault. Listen, I saw a manicure set in your closet. Would you mind if I use it? I need to do my nails. Fine, whatever. Take it if you need. I mean, is this really the time to be thinking about that? Will you just get dressed already, or are you going to keep talking? I'm dressing. Stop panicking. You know, my maids never behaved like this when they helped me dress. They were probably used to your antics. Possibly. Or they were only interested in men, and the sight of a female body didn't arouse them at all. Exactly! Wait, are you mocking me? I already told you, I'm not like you. Yes, you're not like me. You don't have to scream it so loud, you know. Realizing she has me, I fiercely try to prove her wrong. It's not like I like you or anything, baka! But when I notice that she's dressing in her old clothes, all the thoughts fly right out of my head. She cleaned them, and now the Eastern clothing looks as good as new. And I quickly realize that Zara has prepared them to wear after her escape. We both know that any day now the witch would be leaving the house forever. Notice that I've gone quiet. The darky looks at me confused. Is something wrong? Is there a snag in my clothes somewhere? No, your outfit looks great. Really? Of course. Why would I lie about something so trivial? Pretending to be offended that the witch has doubted my compliment, I turn away and sulk. But the truth is, I'm trying to hide my grief over how inevitable the departure is. The emotion floods over me so strongly that despite the excellent actress that I am, I'm unable to hide my sadness on my face. Okay then, let's not waste any time and head down to the kitchen. There should be something left over from dinner last night. I nod and follow the witch downstairs. Once in the kitchen, Zara starts rummaging through the baskets in the cupboards looking for something edible. Despite the fact that the darky appears calm, I notice a briskness in her movements. It's as if she's trying to hide her nervousness from me. Well, it figures she probably hadn't planned on being in town this long, and is now afraid she lost too much time. I'm not in a great mood either, but it's for a different reason. Just the thought of Zara leaving has filled me with despondent. Yeah. It's likely because I've never had any friends before, just a few acquaintances, and my brothers who don't count. I don't know what I should be feeling right now. Maybe this is what they call companionship, or... Okay, I need to stop thinking about this. Lately, I don't even know what I'm thinking. I begin helping the witch set the table, but it looks worse than it ever has. When I drop a piece of cheese for the second time, I spill hot tea on myself. Zara looks at me suspiciously. Aw, she's so sad and clumsy now because of her being worried about Zara, and she totally likes her so much. She doesn't want her to leave. That's adorable. Are you sure you're okay? Is it because of the escape? Are you worried we'll get caught? I thought you were confident in our success and in yourself. I'm still confident, and it's because of the escape. It's probably best if I don't mention the real reason I'm upset, at least not until I figure out my true feelings. The witch once again looks at me skeptically, but says nothing. I suddenly have the urge to talk to her, to tell her what's going on in my head right now, but I can't make up my mind. Besides, if I tell Zara that I really like her, she'd probably take it the wrong way, and I'm not that kind of girl. Oh, those perverts with their perverted thoughts. It's hard to even talk about friendship with them. Over the last few days, all of our breakfast conversations always led back to sewing and priestess disguises. This breakfast is no exception. I'd certainly prefer other topics of conversation at this point. Do you really think the gods won't suspect a thing? I'm sure of it. They'll pay little attention to the two priestesses hurrying to the sanctuary. It's not even worth worrying about. I'd really like to not worry, but have you seen our disguises? I don't want to speak poorly of our sewing skills, but those outfits look like they were made by blind one-armed goblins who drank too much wine from reindeer droppings. Hey, the dresses may not be perfect, but you're clearly overreacting. I doubt you'd be able to tell the difference if you saw them from a distance. But the gods won't be seeing them from a distance. Besides, every time I put on a dress, I feel like the stitches are going to rip apart at any moment, leaving me completely naked. Pfft, you say that like it bothers you if strangers see you naked. Strangers and gods are two completely different things. I sigh. Zara is right. The dresses might end up being the wrong size. And the thread, didn't you stitch it together while it was on her? The thread sticking out everywhere makes them look even worse. Granted, we plan on to fix most of the problems today, but I'm sure it would not help. Fixing the problems is one thing, creating new ones is another. I have to admit, when I look at the fruits of our labor, even my unshakable confidence falters. Oh, I wish I could leave town sooner. The walls are suffocating me, and I feel the princess getting close each day. She'll find me soon, and then... No, I can't wait any longer. We need to complete our outfits today. Maybe we don't need to hurry so much. Of course we do. You wouldn't understand, but each day I spend here may be fatal to me. And for you too, by the way. You won't be praised for helping a wanted criminal escape capture, you know. I know, and whose fault is that? Zara frowns at me before looking away guiltily. You're right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Alright, if you've finished your breakfast, let's head upstairs, we need to continue working. I nod, obeying the witch. I sadly saunter up to the second floor. Once in the bedroom, Zara pulls out the threads, needles, and other mending accessories from the sewing basket, and she unfolds both priestess outfits, which are nearly complete, and nods her head as she looks them over. So you truly believe these will deceive anyone? I look at the crooked seams, protruding threads, and different colored sleeves of my dress. You asked me before, and I already told you we'll be wearing the cloaks. You won't need to see anything underneath them, so stop worrying. But if the guards become suspicious on our appearance, we can accuse them of blasphemy. They wouldn't dare hassle the holy daughters of Nerian, the blasphemous reprobates. There we go. Words and shit. Or reprobating blasphemers. Whichever sounds better. Rosetta, I'm serious. Well, I'm serious too. What's wrong with the plan? We can't just accuse the gods of blasphemy. A real priestess wouldn't do that. The gods will discover us even more quickly in that way. You say that like you've done it 100 times before, and they've already seen through your deception. Anyhow, you'll never know unless you try. We don't need to try. We don't need the extra attention. Moreover, they'll certainly have the poster with my picture on it. So what? I saw your picture, and let me tell you, you look much better in real life. I wonder why they keep Butterfinger painters like that in the palace. He was probably paid a pretty penny for it, too. I wonder if they'd hire me to draw portraits for the posters. Rosetta! Judging by the witch's voice, she's clearly irritated, and she's taking this a lot more seriously than I thought. Well, it's her loss. She needs to calm down a little and relax before the escape. I don't even have time to open my mouth and say anything when the herald's horn sound from the streets. Knowing that puffy mouthpiece is about to read off an announcement, I open the window and we don't miss anything. Zara, dropping the princess scarf on the floor, rushes to the window with me. I glance at Zara and can see her face, and she's not expecting this to be good. After he finishes blowing the trumpet, the brightly dressed troublemaker begins to loudly read the announcement. Attention all residents of our great town! By royal decree, the reward for the capture of the runaway criminal Zara Kyranis of Muratana has increased twice-fold, and is now 4,000 gold coins. If any individual has knowledge of the fugitive whereabouts, they must inform the authorities immediately. Failure to do so will result in said individual being remanded into royal custody. I wince. I don't like being reminded of how much danger I'm in. Also, as of today, the market square shall be cordoned off. There we go. And all street patrols will be reinforced with additional guard squads. What? Damn, so the princess must know where the witch is close. This is going to make escape plan all that much harder to pull off. Zara from Muratana, by the grace of the royal family and Her Highness Elise, you are offered one final chance. You have 3 days to turn yourself over to the guards or return to the palace. And if you do so, then the individual who concealed you shall avoid arrest, and your punishment shall be reduced. Damn, this is so complicated. The herald then reads off a few more insignificant announcements before he finally shuts up and leaves the streets. I turn back to the witch, who seems lost. It almost feels as if she's afraid I'm going to try and persuade her to surrender so I can escape from punishment and from my... whatever. But it's not one to force others to sacrifice themselves for my own benefit. Besides, I agreed to help her. I'll clean up this mess. Look, if you think I'm going to... Gods, I can't believe she's almost found me. She knows I'm in the vicinity of the marketplace. I need to get out of here as quickly as possible. But if the marketplace is now being patrolled even more thoroughly than before, is there even a chance I can leave this house without being caught? I think I can discreetly lead you out of the area. The guards patrol the streets, not the rooftops. Trust me, this isn't a time to despair, not when there are still options available to us. Why are things this way? Oh gods, I don't think this is going to end well for me. It's going to get worse by the hour. I can almost feel my enemies surrounding me. Zara, there's no need for drama. This isn't over yet, and we have a great chance of getting you out of town. A great chance? No, it's not a great chance. I don't believe in anything anymore. Upset, Zara plops on the bed. It seems like the news has hit her really hard. I try to calm her down, but she's too lost in thought to listen to me. After a while, I'm fully able to persuade the witch to pull herself together and finish preparing for the escape. Together we get back to work, and by evening the outfits are finally complete. And although they don't look that much better, Zara and I sigh in relief. Still, they're the only priestly vestments we have, so hopefully we can get lucky with them, and that we're given guards with poor eyesight. Despite the fact that Zara tries to appear calm, she's still noticeably worried about the situation, and I can fully understand that. I'm also worried about tomorrow's escape, and I need to escort the witch outside of town after all. It'll be dangerous. If our plan fails, then I'll be seized along with Zara, and our adventures will end in jail, or even worse. But I don't care about that. The thought of never seeing this perverted witch again bothers me even more than the possibility of going to jail. I think that's a good place to leave it off, so we'll get to the escape next episode. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to click that thumbs up button down below for me, because you already know your support is greatly appreciated. And if you have not subscribed already, I would highly recommend you do so for future episodes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next episode.